Today, an evening can pass in total silence, defined by the cold light of a screen and a quiet kind of physical isolation. But not long ago, the end of the day sounded very different. In the village, the setting sun was the signal. As the sky turned gold over the temple, the quiet was about to be broken. This was a spontaneous migration. Children spilled from every house, running barefoot down dusty paths, driven only by the urge to find their peers. They didn't need scheduled playdates or expensive equipment. The infrastructure for their evening was simply the earth beneath them and the people standing next to them. This shift from the blue light of a screen to the dust of a path suggests that the most intense social connections don't require hardware. They rely on the physical presence of others. As the light dimmed, local grounds became a battleground. Kabaddi required a level of physical commitment, forcing players to test their limits in the dirt. A raider crosses the midline, tagging opponents while holding a single breath. As oxygen runs out, defenders form a chain, moving in sync to spring a trap and hold the raider down until that breath is gone. Kabaddi was a test of individual nerve. Kho demanded a different energy, high-speed team synergy. Notice the sequential tagging mechanic. A chaser taps a seated teammate, triggering an instant transfer of the chase. This forces the team to operate with a shared intuition, activating the right teammate at exactly the right second. Winning these matches didn't feel like a personal achievement. The entire neighborhood was usually watching, turning a simple game into a communal celebration. These constraints, the shared breath and the locked arms, turned a simple evening into a deep lesson in mutual reliance. By following these rules, children practiced how to trust one another long before they had a name for it. By dusk, the cooling air signaled a change. The chaotic energy of team sports gave way to games that required a different kind of focus. Gilli Danda is materially simple, requiring only one large stick and one small wooden peg. There are no batteries or complex parts to break. The challenge is purely physical. You strike the small peg to pop it into the air, then swing the larger stick to hit it mid-flight, driving it far down the road. Because there is no predefined board or digital field, the players have to supply the context. They turn an ordinary road into a high-stakes arena. When a game provides only 2 sticks and some dust, the player's internal imagination has to do all the work, creating a massive, imagined stadium. Eventually, the moon became the primary light source. This was the final phase of the night, where play became quiet and focused. In the soft light, girls would draw chalk grids for hopscotch. It is a game of solitary concentration, performed for an audience of focused peers. There are no complex scores or rivalries here. The reward is found in the immediate physical presence required to land perfectly within the lines. Hopscotch represents the simplest form of play, engaging in an activity purely for the joy of that exact moment, creating memories that quietly stay forever. Every night ended with the same sound. From the porches of nearby houses, the firm, distant voice of a mother would call out through the dark, signaling that the ritual was over. The grounds would empty almost instantly. The noise of the afternoon was replaced by a sudden, peaceful silence, as the dust from the game slowly settled back onto the earth. The fields were empty, but the children went home with something lasting. They carried back a sense of fulfillment that only comes from hours of shared life. These old games show us that childhood wealth isn't measured by an abundance of things. It's measured by the depth of the connections we make when we have nothing to play with but each other.